What's up, everyone? This is going to be a quick breakdown video for coaches and creators who are running their own high ticket offer or operators like me who are partnering up with coaches to scale and launch high ticket offers. Okay, this is going to be a breakdown on how to make leads sell themselves on high ticket offers. Very simple yet overlooked aspect of funnel building. And we're going to start with the most obvious, and yet still surprisingly overlooked, and that's scarcity, right? This isn't probably anything new to you. It's very basic things like saying only 10 spots available, spots close in 7 days. These are kind of iconic ways of getting people to opt in, apply, and close very fast, right? So if you don't have this, I'm just going to say right now you need to, and you're already behind something that people know already, okay? So build scarcity, talk about limited available spots, talk about when it's going to close. Don't have your program open for too long. Open and close it in periods where you can build launch sequences, pre-launch wait list, and pre-closes and everything. That's the way to do it. Don't have an offer that's open 24/7 unless you've already established yourself in the industry and you're already doing very specific, decent numbers already. Now, this next one, it's a little bit more niche down. It's a little bit more not underground, but it's just something that not a lot of people do. And it's having a very hyper specific ICP. There's pros and cons to this. I like to do it because it helps with close rate and it helps to just build the perfect funnel. When you have a very hyper specific ICP, for example, for this one, this is an example of maybe a drop shipper. And this drop shipper only is working with brands doing over $15,000 a month already. And they're trying to get them to the six-figure a month mark, right? So it's very specific. It's going to cut out probably 90% of the people that may want to apply for this because they're not doing 15 a month or whatever. But for this specific offer, we have people that we know are financially qualified, that have what it takes to succeed because they're already here. And this is going to do two things. We can sell even higher tickets. So for this may cost $10,000 for these businesses and these business owners to be mentored. And we're going to have much higher success rates, which is going to help me move into my other point, um, which is authority, right? And making yourself a figure of authority in the industry, whatever it may be, right? You have to understand this, whether you're an operator, whether you're the coach themselves, the coach must be so good at what they do that the leads don't question their ability to successfully teach others. Okay, and that's pretty self-explanatory of what I mean by that. There needs to be no question over whether you know what you're talking about and whether you can sell and get good results for what you're teaching, right? So if you're a drop shipper and you've only made $5,000 doing it, it's probably not time to start a course yet because no one's going to see you as an authority. And if you're lying, that's going to come back to catch you in other ways. So if you're lying about how much you have success wise, how much you've generated, whatever it may be, that'll come back to bite you. I would recommend being completely transparent. And if you are really good at what you're doing and you know that you can teach other people and you've instilled that trust onto your audience, you're going to be set up for a big launch or a lot of scaling if you implement the right systems, okay? Because once you're a figure of authority, as long as you don't obviously mess that up somehow, you have a much easier time selling people on high ticket, okay? And then testimonial maxing. These go hand in hand in the way that when you have a hyper niche and a hyper specific ICP, someone that's probably more financially qualified, more business minded, and more likely to succeed because they've already had a taste of it. Again, for this one, you're going to get better testimonials. You're going to have a higher success rate. And a lot of coaches and a lot of operators don't care about that. But I'm here to tell you that when you do start focusing on testimonials, result rates, actually getting good student results, your business will scale naturally because word of mouth, because you can leverage these testimonials in email sequences, in posts, on your landing page. There's so many different ways that you can turn testimonials and good results into more cash flow for your high ticket offer. Word of mouth is a huge thing that people don't talk about because 90% of offers don't get to that level. Once you get to that level of your program being so good that students go and talk to other people and then they buy it, you're at a level that's untapped. You will be able to not market and have leads coming in day and day out. That is more valuable than a winning ad that is more valuable than a YouTube video you post that gets a million views because it is consistent, and that's only going to grow as long as you keep testimonial maxing, as long as you have a hyper specific niche that gets good results because you've made it that way and you've engineered it that way. Then it's a self fulfilling flywheel upwards. It's only going to grow your business, okay? Then the last thing I included was a guarantee. Okay, this one's really simple. If you're confident in your ability to teach people and to get people results because you know what you're doing, because you're a figure of authority, you should have no problem adding a guarantee. Now, I understand this isn't for everyone. I'm not saying it's a make it or break it thing, but I will say the moment that I introduced guarantees into my creators' offers, we made more money month over month, more consistently, because it's a risk reversal. When someone is investing $3,000, $7,000, $10,000 into a program, most of the time they're going to want some form of risk reversal. And this is the way to do it. Whether it's a full money back guarantee after 60 or 90 days, whether it's a guarantee of working with you until you get your return on investment infinitely, whatever your guarantee may be, it can look like a lot of different things. And that could be an entire video that I make in and of itself. But a guarantee is something that you're not going to want to sleep on. And if you actually are a figure of authority and you have confidence in your mentorship, in your course, whatever it may be, include a guarantee. It'll help your sales and it shouldn't hurt as long as you're delivering what you're promising. Okay. Now, the third thing that I want to go over is something that I like to call price semi transparency. Okay. And obviously, that's just being a little transparent about price, but not fully. Not telling them it's 3K, not telling them it's 7K, 10K, whatever your price point may be. You're not telling them an exact number because then they have no point and no reason to show up to a call because they already have all the information there. They can make that decision by themselves. The point and the rule of thumb of not sharing price and not price dropping before a sales call is because it gives the person and the lead no reason to show up, no reason at all, because they can do their own thought. They know the price, they know what's included. Now, why would they show up to your call so you can tell them the things that they already know? That's why it's a rule of thumb. But the worst case scenario is if you're a closer or if you have a team like I do, you don't want to waste your closer's time and you don't want to waste the lead's time. Let's say someone shows up with $500 to their name. Well, there's going to be no close made because there can't be. So we don't want to directly tell the lead the price. Okay, you never want to do that. What we can do is we can give them a price range in multiple places in the funnel. Now, where I do it is in the VSL and then the application. Okay, those are the two places that I do it. Now, the way I do it in the VSL is very simple. I'll script it and I'll have my creator say something along the lines of, look, this mentorship, this course, whatever it may be, is not cheap and it's certainly not free. It's going to be an investment of at least a couple $1,000s. And if you don't have that amount saved and if you don't have it liquid, ready to spend today, then do not apply and do not hop on a call with my team because it's simply not a right fit. But if you do have that money and you want to invest in your education, in your skills, and in your future, then this is right for you. Something along the lines of that. It's going to deepen the connection with people that do have the money, and it's going to make the people that are time wasters go off. Okay, they're going to click off the page. At least that's the hope. You're always going to have time wasters. That's just the industry. It is what it is. But you really want to clarify how much this is without giving them an exact price. That's why I use a range. Now, on the application, it says something very similar. Before you can book a call, it's going to make you select a box and say, I understand that this mentorship comes with an investment in the low to mid thousands of dollars. Okay? Very clear, very simple. They have to check it. So now they know if they have $500, then they're just going to be wasting their time. So they're probably not going to book a call. Which is the outcome of this step is having people come prepared for the price without knowing exactly what it's going to be. Okay. Now, this is my favorite part, the $100,000 question. This is something I came up with. I could be totally wrong. This could already be a given strategy, and you can let me know down in the questions if you've seen this somewhere else. But as far as I know, I came up with this with my creator a few months ago, and it changed the game for us. The reason I call it the $100,000 question is because we have made or will make, I'm not sure where we're at, we're probably very close to $100,000 after we've implemented this question. And I think in a few months from now, I'll call it the $1 million question because it'll have generated that much for us. Again, I haven't seen anybody in the industry use this, and we're going to try to gatekeep it. I know I'm posting this on YouTube, so it's public, but don't go spreading this around. Use it for yourself before it gets overly saturated and the everyday person picks up on it. Okay. But this is what we do. I'll explain it to you after I read out the question. I literally copy and pasted this from our type forms. So this is a direct quote from what it would be on the application. And it reads this: We currently have over 25 pending applications. Please explain your situation and why you believe you should be selected to fill one of our remaining spots this month. It's a mind blowing, simple, but effective question that not a lot of people have thought to implement. Maybe none at all until my creator and I. The reason we do this is because you are literally making a lead pitch themselves on why they should pay you. Like literally, if you read the question and you think about what the people would answer, it's literally a pitch. They're pitching themselves, why they're a good fit, why they should be selected for the program, and again, you know what this is right here? This is scarcity. This is us putting that we have over 25 pending applications. Why should you fill one of the remaining spots for this month? This makes them feel like they're limited, right? You know what else this does? Over 25 pending applications. Well, that builds authority because this is saying we have a lot of people that want to learn from us. Why should we select you? You'd be surprised about the amount of 5 paragraph essays that we have received from people just responding to this question. Paragraph after paragraph of, oh, this is my age, this is what I've accomplished, this is what I want to accomplish, this is how hard I'm going to work. I won't let you down. You're going to make this, I'm going to make this worth it for you. I'm going to be the best testimony you've ever had. Literally, people begging to be selected for this, begging to pay us thousands of dollars for this product. If you're not implementing this question already, implement it. Okay. And the way that we do this is it goes after budget. Okay. So we'll have the budget question, which is basically how much do you have available to invest? Okay. Now, when they say 1K or above, they're automatically going to get redirected to this question. Okay. So it's going to say how much do you have available to invest in this mentorship right now. If they say they have 1K plus, they're getting sent to this question. If they say less than 1K, they're getting sent to a mid ticket because it's a waste of both of our times. I'm not going to get them on a call if they have less than $1,000. Now, some people will lie. Again, that's part of the game, but a lot of people will be honest and say, okay, I have less than 1,000. We'll redirect them to the mid ticket so we don't let any revenue slip. But when they have a decent budget, which is $1,000 or above, we send them to this question. And again, the responses have been amazing. 5 paragraph essays, paragraphs for every answer, literally pitching themselves on this. Now, I want to go broad right now, talk about everything we've covered, and then explain the ICP that has now booked a call and has gone through all of the steps that we just established in this. Okay, so number one, scarcity. They're coming to this call and they're thinking, I don't have long to make this decision. I've got other people that want to take my spot. There's only 10 spots remaining and it only closes in 7 days. So I don't have a lot of time to think about this. I'm ready to make a decision. So we've instilled that in them. We've instilled a time frame and time to make action because it's scarcity. Now we've also done authority. So they're coming to the call not with scam objections. They're not coming to the call with a lack of trust for the creator. That's the worst case scenario. I've been an operator for creators where the only objection we got was scam objections, just straight over and over and over again. That got super exhausting. That's because he wasn't a figure of authority. Okay, we would still be able to sell for him, but he wasn't an authority. You want them showing up, believing in the product, believing in the creator, and trusting in the guarantee that you pitch them. Okay, so now we have scarcity checked off, we have authority checked off, pricing and transparency. This one, obviously, we went over this. They're not showing up expecting to only pay a couple $100s. They know this is going to be a couple $1,000s minimum, and we filter them through that so that they come up expecting that. When we go to the end of the call and we say it's $7,000, they're not going to sit there shocked because it's not $60 like they thought it was. So they know somewhat what the range of the price is going to be. So that's a check. And now the last one, the $100 question. We went over this. They're coming into this call already having pitched themselves. And you know what this makes them do? You have to think about it from this perspective. They're coming into this call to find out whether they're being selected for this mentorship, not the other way around. 90% of the time, when a lead books a call for your offer, I'm sure they come into that thinking, am I going to select this mentorship? Is this going to be right for me? Am I going to pay this guy? We flip this 180 degrees. We flip this around. And now we're coming into this call as, hmm, am I going to be selected? Am I going to get one of the 10 remaining spots? You know, am I going to beat out the other 25 pending applications? Am I going to be the right fit for this? Did my essay that I wrote for this question, did it get approved and did it convince the team enough to accept me? Now when we pitch them and we hit them with the price, they're set up for it because they know that they trust in us and they know they don't have a lot of time to make the decision and they've already pitched themselves. It is a literal laydown. So in in total, I've just walked you down exactly how to make leads sell themselves on high ticket offers. If you haven't implemented all of this, I highly recommend taking action right now after this video because it's insane. I mean, you can see what I just mapped out for the ICP booking a call. It's insane. Like they come completely prepared to piff, completely prepared to pay you and your team for mentorship. So I hope this makes sense. I have an entire free training video breaking down how to.
I think I'm going to call this the $100,000 outro. Comment system down below.